Okay, the other axe carries that OG's gone for, that I have not yet picked up for in terms of which heroes they like when they have the Alchemist is Medusa. They give her early ags. We've seen during the DPC season also the Monkey King and Void Spirit attempted, which are also all still in the pool.
The Ember too.
They go for Lash.
The Ember as well, yeah.
Yeah. They pre-planned the Lash Oracle. The Lash Oracle is one of the strongest Oracle combinations with like Huskar and DP. And they are gonna last pick the Thompson here, I'm pretty sure. The Thompson doesn't play Lash Rock. Like, I literally never saw him play Lash. This is some male hero and Alchemist is Seb.
He plays Oracle. Doesn't he?
He does play the Oracle. but I don't think they'll go that far.
Not with the new Scepter, unfortunately.
I'm just curious, like, what is the mid hero that really...
We got Ember, Tinker, and Zeus, right? They all have really good
Yeah, but he doesn't play Tinker. He doesn't play Tinker.
Well,
and
we don't think.
No, I mean...
It's such a miracle hero. Shouldn't he play Tinker?
A Miracle plays Tinker, not Thompson.
Play?
Miracle does play, but Thompson, no. Thompson, he's a Zeus specialist, and they need, like... They still need the Arcs here. What does Lash? I mean, I kind of know what Lash
should play it too, guys. All right, I'm just saying. Yeah, maybe Thompson, I guess, since he is the one playing in this game, will be the one we'll talk about. It's a pretty good idea.
We got a Tidehunter coming out, so that will be most likely our 33 hero. And that reminded me, you know, for some reason, Tide and TA are you know, linked in my mind together. Crazy things. But the TA and the Invoker are both still in the pool. We saw them banned out very early on. So for both of these mids, heroes that they really like. So both 9 and Thompson get their pick. Last overall pick goes the way of OG. So they get a little bit of an edge there, if I'm calculating correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it should be the Zeus ban from the Tundra and the other ban. I mean, I'm seeing the Dora buff says it's Arc Warden. Arc Warden. I'm feeling the Arc Warden for Thompson. Depends on what they pick mid for 9. Like that's gonna give a lot of info for the OG. Like
all right, so let's say that you're thinking about that Arc Warden. What should 9 take to try and like dissuade Thompson from going that route?
They need something to like help on backlines, like catching these oracles and lions. So they might think of like Void Spirit themselves,
or
like something that's gonna follow up on a Ravage and just kill. I mean, there's Lion, and you're like, oh, I don't want to pick a Spirit into Lion, but there's Abaddon. Like you have this margin of error where you get stunned, he gets removed, you pop your Dissimulate or whatever, and then you still do your job. Or there's like a counter Ravage that makes you live through this first disables. So I think they will go for a Void Spirit on Tundra. It's very 9 special hero. Another one of many of them.
The silence is so good this game too.
Yeah, so that's the goal. Just get the eggs and kill the Oracle and Lion, and then the fight is gonna play itself out.
Well, they ban out the Pugna and the Pango as the last 2 bans for Tundra, and we'll see what OG chooses to remove, because if they came to the same conclusion as you, obviously we'll see that Void Spirit removed. But they're taking their time, and they still have plenty of time. OG is definitely one of the faster drafting teams, meaning they've got a lot of bonus time left at the end to think about what they're gonna do with their last ban and their last pick.
They ban the pack. It's the same idea, and it might be even more signature for 9 the pack, and it's like it's a very annoying hero to deal with, and yeah, I know Arc Warden has a good matchup on pack a bit, so that might mean that
you still believe in it.
I really don't. They kind of need a Terrorblade solution. This Lash is not good enough. It helps, but they still need Ember, Zeus, or Arc Warden. Depends. There's still an Ember, the Thompson signature.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes the Razor.
Dead. So that's not a leading stun though. That's kind of interesting. It does follow up well on Ravage, but that means that they don't really have arrow setup other than like Ravage.
Snake needs no setup.
Yeah, the good Mirana players don't need it. Is the thing with the Razor?
Arrow Mirana, dude. He's to steal your camps, Mirana. That's all he does.
The Razor 23 is very hard to counter. Razor is one of the hardest heroes to counter mid. Like what counters Razor? Like Sniper and Queen of Pain. These heroes are not popular. So like now you're in this position where you need to counter a Terrorblade to win the game, but you cannot pick a hero that's gonna get dumpster on Razor. Then you're not gonna have an impact anyway. So it doesn't matter that your hero is good against Terrorblade. So the Tundra are putting themselves in a very good position here. The draft. I really like it.
And up 1 game. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so is Arc Warden playable though? You look at this like it looks pickable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milan with the foresight. Love it.
One in the book.
That means you have to go for them now. That is the rule. I hope you're
Yes,
aware.
that is kind of the rule. Do you feel
Yeah.
like this Arc Warden is still good enough for them to take this game then, force the 3rd game out?
It's really hard to tell. If I knew what Lash Aghanim's do, I could say, but otherwise I think I need to go with Tundra this game. Like 3-3, it's hard to bet against 3-3 Tidehunter and Skitter Terrorblade. Yeah.
And Snake King Mirana. I mean, this would be
Snake
5
King
games in a row. Four wins straight. Snake King Mirana.
He watched all my replays, man. I can tell.
Like, damn, they are definitely feeling it. Oh man, they actually have like all their signature heroes here. This is great, except for Razor. Razor's whatever, but
everybody plays Razor. I mean, Skeeter. This will be Skeeter's 4th game of Terrorblade also, and the Razor. Razor's Nah.
All right, I'm not jumping ship. I'll stick with OG. I believe in the OG prep. They've got their Alchemist. It's a strat for a reason. Soxa is just gonna, get perfect hexes the entire game, and they'll just win. It's fine.
Okay. Well, I think we wouldn't be opposed to that. It means we will get a 3rd game to this series, but let's find out what's going to happen. We're finding out together with ODPixel on AUI.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, game 2 between Tundra and OG, and indeed, as Trent says, we're getting pretty much both teams' bread and butter here, Aui. So, sort of, what's your read from these 2 drafts that we've got? Not too many surprises really when it comes to who's playing what. A lot of very familiar heroes.
Yeah, I think both teams sort of knew exactly what was going to happen in this draft, and I always love when that happens because it means that it's sort of a clash of ideas between both teams. If you go in and both of you are picking your best stuff, knowing what the opponent's going to pick, you're saying your ideas are specifically better about the game than theirs are. And I think that's what's going to happen this game. We'll see who has the better ideas, who is left, who is right.
I mean, and in your mind, looking at this, whose idea do you prefer?
I personally prefer Tundra's idea here, actually. I don't think that the Aghanims from Alchemist has as high impact on the heroes from OG. Maybe the Arc Warden one is really good. It basically doubles your Spark Wraith, which I've never seen it, which is why I can't say, but I could imagine that being really strong, being hard to run into, and then you just you put a lot of Spark Wraiths, you farm them out with Alchemist, and you eventually outscale them, or something like that. I also want to mention, the draft was really cool this game, because there's just a lot of sort of prophylactic picks where they're going to pick Mirana, so you pick Alchemist, and then they're going to pick Terrorblade, so you pick Lion with it, right? It's like preempting the move. And you saw sort of this individual metagame in this game specifically, where everyone knew who each other was going to pick, and they still picked the heroes into it.
I mean, and you talk about sort of the Ags potential for Thompson. I mean, the Ags Leshrac, is that not, do you think, what they're looking towards as maybe an idea to easily deal the damage rather early on with the amp up that Nihilism is going to provide against some of these cores, like a Terrorblade who's not really going to want to have a BKB too early in the game?
I could see it working, actually, specifically as you mentioned versus Terrorblade. He won't want to buy BKB, and I think it does turn Leshrac. Does it turn Leshrac ethereal? I don't know if it does. I've never actually bought the item because it's not something I've personally explored.
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Because it's turning everyone around your ethereal.
Yeah, but they can remove it with the Abaddon shield is the thing.
That's true. Actually, that is yeah. Yeah, that is true, actually. Fada's moves could be pretty big this game against that. So if indeed it is about an Ags Rush on the Lesh, Tundra do have a way to deal with that. You're absolutely right.
So I just don't know again.
Yeah.
It's not something I have enough info to confidently say. I would say it's probably best on the Arc Warden, but so far they've given all the Aghanims to Sumail, just sort of accelerated his gameplay. What I've usually liked from OG, how they use the Alchemist, is they always accelerate their carry with it. I don't feel that Leshrac really accelerates his game in the same way a Monkey Kings or a Drow Rangers would.
No, well, we'll see what sort of idea they have got going for the Mirror OG. As we say, definitely it's going to be played into some of Tundra's finest in terms of heroes that they've just been winning consistently with. A big one being the Skeeter Terrorblade. OG's got to have a solid answer to it.
In bot lane, Skitter, he's picked this Terrorblade specifically versus Alchemist because of Acid Spray. He has 9 armor right now. Acid Spray does way less than it did. Last time OG was playing this, they played it versus Spectre and an Axe against a Viking. It had huge impact in the lane. I would say it won both its lanes there. I don't think it's going to be the same versus Terrorblade.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And when you sort of look towards the two big cores of both sides, you know, how does the timings of an Arc Warden clash or compare with that you expect to reach as a Terrorblade? Like, what sort of different portions of the game are we going to see these heroes, you know, hit each other the hardest?
So this was a huge matchup during the KL Major. It was the 3 carries there were Terrorblade, Arc Warden, and Morphling. And what happened in that major was actually people would start running Terrorblade mid. It was Ramses and Arteezy specifically against Arc Warden. And you would actually win that matchup because you had illusions to tank Arc Warden spells and you just out CS him with meta. They didn't go to opt for that for Tundra this game. But what that sort of taught me, that meta, was that Terrorblade does have a tempo advantage against Arc Warden if you can have a really good lane. I do think he's going to have that this game, so if you can get something like Dragonlance, SMY, you know, some BKB, even a Blink Dagger at some point, we could see Tundra going for like a lot of tempo and trying to end this game.
Absolutely, yeah. And for 6, what have we got?
Sorry, I just clicked on 3-3. I think he's starting no items into a Helm of Iron Will Rush.
And he's gotten away with it. I'll tell you what,
so
11 CS.
He's going to go for Dominator first, which is really good because it allows him to push Leshrac out of lane. I was thinking at the start of this game that I'm a bit worried because Leshrac should have a good timing against Tidehunter. Once you hit 6 or even level 5 with the Edict, you can push him out of lane and Tidehunter doesn't really have any counterplay. However, the Helm of the Dominator completely nullifies it because the armor works against Edict, which is a huge deal, and Leshrac can't stand against the creep. This is a really cool idea coming out from 3-3. He always has some fresh ideas about Dota. I love it.
I mean, he absolutely does. We saw it in the other series again, the other day against Liquid, right? Again, where they're 11k down. He was also playing the Tide. He goes for the Aghanims first time, plays a huge part in turning it around, holding from the high ground, and as you say here, once again, doing something a little different that could have pretty big impact quite early on in this match.
And I think the cool thing about it is just how pre-thought and how well thought out the ideas are. In that Tidehunter game that you mentioned, he went 4-1-4. So he is thinking about that build since level 8. Like, that's so much earlier in the game than what you would expect. And it ends up... I honestly think that build ended up winning them the game in the end. Like, it stalled so much. I'm curious to see how this Helm will work as well, because he is having a pretty good lane, even with Mirana sort of roaming to the enemy jungle here.
No, absolutely is. And to tell you, he's not having a pretty good lane. Bottom lane, Seb and Saxa. They are getting bullied pretty heavily by Fada. Fada continues to just sort of run the two of them out of the lane. They're having to pop a lot of regen. Saxa having to take the walk back to base. As Fada doing an excellent job of just securing Skeeter all the space in the world. There's not going to be any early pressure on this Terrorblade. Same to be said for Sumail. Both side lane position ones getting good farm right now. The mid matchup, 22 for 7 on 9 against the 50 for 1 for Thompson. They might have him actually this time. Skeeter with the Metamorphosis, a few hits. You get another one in. They look at a dive. Miscalling the shield, not enough. Skeeter's trying to cut through the trees to find him. Won't be able to get the vision though. So Seb will live. Very low on the regen. Sax has come back into the lane, has brought a salve with him. So we'll be able to top Seb back up. So Seb can remain down here.
I also want to mention that 9 is having a fantastic lane versus Arc Warden in the middle. There's even a Marauder roaming on him here.
Whoa. Thompson having to juke the arrow. We'll keep him alive. I say that. Snake King's in, leaping forward. He's looking for Thompson. Needs a couple more hits though. Thompson starting to salve up, sneaking around the tree line. Snake King, he's not going to have enough damage in the tank to finish him off. Still has one leap left to try and break away from the two of them. But Thompson, he's got the Flux skilled, and they've got the nuke damage with the Purifying Flames. They will be able to punish Snake King for diving in deep. And of course, at the same time, down bottom, OG, they heal up, they're able to strike back, and they do manage to get farther out of the lane.
Yeah, and in both lanes, the Tundra support sort of going down. Both in lanes that they're already winning. They're going for Seb here, though. They pop on the shield.
The shield damage from Fada, it blows him up. Saxa will turn with the Hex. See if they can run him down.
They can run him down. They have boots.
They've got a shield as well if they want to look to dive the tower, and they do. Skeeter shielded up by Fada, they're in. And Tundra, they'll hit back just as hard, getting the revenge there for losing Fada earlier in the matchup.
I was going to say that it's a huge deal to get kills in lanes where you're losing, but Tundra immediately strike back, and they're not done yet. They're going on to mid here.
Yeah, this aggression here. Straight on to Thompson. Thompson continues to have No-Tail stand by his side.
Fada's
swinging over. They'll get in, they'll land the slow here with the reach of the field. They'll take out Thompson, they'll take out No-Tail. Double kill for 9 in the mid lane. As Tundra, already just 5 minutes in, making huge moves across the map. They're at a 2k lead. OG's not ready for this pace.
And this is a completely different answer than what we saw from Viking against OG's Alchemist. In that series, Alchemist was free farming. This one, Skitter, I mean, it's not like Alchemist is getting full zone from the lane or something, but he's almost doubling up.
Oh, 9.
Oh, 9.
He gets another one. Enough mana with the one charge to get another plasma field off. I mean, 9 already starting off 6 minutes in. 3 kills here for the mid lane Razor.
He's really beasting it, and Razor is actually a hero that can take over the game. We were talking about this Terrorblade versus Arc Warden matchup, but something that completely breaks that is if Aghanim's BKB Refresher Razor just runs in at the Arc Warden. There's nothing to prevent Arc Warden from getting got on. Even Oracle save. Oh my god. He just solo killed him, or?
No, Snake's in. He has the illusion on him.
Okay, his illusion. Okay, that's great.
I mean, yeah, Skeeter picking up kills whilst he's chilling, hitting the creeps in the lane, thanks to that illusion being sent over to back up Snaking's move. I mean, this is looking pretty rough, Aui. We're 7 minutes in. They're at a 3k lead as Tundra, they're popping off big time very quickly to start with Thompson mid. He's trying to TP out. Have they got enough damage? They don't. Thompson will manage to get his main self back to the base. And still, it's back to the base. It's going to be time off the map for Thompson as Thompson continues to have a slow start. Samael, he's come over with the rotation. See if he has enough damage to take down 9. He doesn't! A terrible rotation there from Samael will cost him his life. 9 gets another kill. No-Tail's running up to the high ground. 9, he's going to look to chase this down. 33 turns with the Helm of the Dawn Wildwing Ripper to rip No-Tail's life away from him.
Have you ever seen those videos of like a Ogre Magi pretending to be a neutral creep? And then he stuns the enemy when they come to farm it, because that's what 3-3 just did with the Swallowing Ripper. It was just in the jungle. It's pulling random ways away from OG. Last time OG played Leshrac and Alchemist, they had like 4 times 3 stacks in their jungle for them to accelerate. But Tundra, they're just playing at such a high pace that OG supports aren't able to do this. They're running them over on the map.
They really are. And there's a lot of supports to run over with sort of the start that they're having on the Alk and the Arc Warden. They've got kind of 4 supports going at the moment, OG. They're falling behind big time.
Ooh, I just thought Tidehunter, I think part of what he can do with his creep as well is he can just stack ancients from himself. I think it's something 3-3 would do. And it's they're Moonlight Shadowed onto Thompson here, just taking over the enemy triangle.
I mean, where are OG going to get the space to get their farm on these cores now?
You have to kill the Tundra heroes. If you don't kill them, they're going to run at you too much. And here they go. They're going on to Skitter here. Do they have damage though?
Let's see, Skeeter. He has got enough for the one charge in a Sunder. See if he gets it off. One's popped. And he's not actually quite got enough mana for the Sunder as of yet. We'll step to the side. And he's going to be fine. Saxa taking down to the damage of the urn. The illusions are out. Skeeter, he's going to be able to pick up a kill on Saxa. Samael at the same time dying to 9. Was that a solo kill by 9 in the mid lane with the help of the Dark Troll Summoner? In fact, from the Helm of the Dawn that 33's playing with from across the map. I mean, this is just a pure highlight reel for Tundra.
Oh my god. The plays they're making are so cool too. Like who Leshrac versus Razor, if he runs at you, you know, you can TP out, he has no cancel. But 3-3, he's just adding on to his teammate's play. Suddenly there's one creep mid. It changes the dynamic of the matchup, and Tundra, they're putting pressure on all 3 lanes right now.
OG CPing in for the defense in mid. Now they've got the 3 of them. They've got to be careful with Samael though. Samael was the only core that was really having a good start. He's come to mid twice and died 2 times to 9. They will get the catch on Snake King. They've got the damage with the 3 of them. 9 trying to poke back in onto Saxa, but he won't head up to the high ground. So OG, they'll get themselves a kill. They need a lot more than that, though, to recover the deficit they're at right now.
That's a very important kill. Anytime you're behind like this, the only way you can sort of move forward on the map is if enemy heroes are dead. Because Snake King is dead, you know, you can sort of... You see Thompson, he can push a little bit further bottom. Maybe Alchemist can farm a little bit more. I mean, Tundra, they're so far ahead that they're still oppressive, but it's a good start for OG to try to come back.
OG's got to be very cautious. We've seen Tundra dive past this tier 1 many times before. Samael, I don't know how safe he is standing as close as he is here. The slow comes out from the plasma field. Dark Troll Summoner. He's going to get the setup on him. They're just running him down. Under the tier 2, Samael will be safe enough for now. are falling very low. They'll have the space and aggression to push down the tier 1. Arrow coming in from the side, snaking. He lands the hit onto No-Tail. Can't get past Sumail though. So No-Tail will be fine. Well, at least for now. I say that 9 and Fada, they're still looking to get him past the tier 2, and they will. Plasma field out. 9 sweeps by, picks up another kill. 7-0-1 now. As 9 continues to pop off, playing with the momentum that he built up in that game 1. Bottom lane, Topson trying to get in onto Skeeter, but underneath the tower. Easy time for backup to come in from Tundra. Actually doesn't need to. 9 holds back on the TP. Maybe sees instead a chance to get the wraparound in from the side. Won't go for it though. Topson having Sumail and Saxa by his side. They won't look to poke at this Tundra. Snaking. We'll find Seb's courier though passing by on the top half of the jungle. And 33 with the pressure will now be able to take this tier 1 tower away without OG being able to do anything to hold it.
So Tundra have taken both the mid tower and the enemy safe. They're just running into the jungle.
Seb. And he can't get out of this. He tries to TP, but the Yules is there. I mean, this Razor just completely taking over the game here with the way that Tundra are, as a team, are just enabling 9's aggression. I think it was sort of Milan who talked about the strength of the 23rd pick Razor in a draft, and 9 certainly showing that here. He's having a pretty free game.
Yeah, and OG, they do get some compensation. They managed to get this bot tower. I was actually trying to make a point that you've opened up the map by taking the mid and safe lane tower away from OG. But Tundra, they were already next level, making the move as the tower falls. Seb, he's not really expecting that, because usually it's more systematic, methodical, and slow. Tundra, they're just zooming around, and they've already killed him as the tower's going down.
Bottom, Topson. He's got to look to get out of it. He's going to go for the TP out, but the damage is done. Skeeter with the illusions of the metamorphosis will take Topson out before he can get away.
Ooh, and this is how you want to play Terrorblade. Oh, mid lane though, they're going on to 9 here. This is a big kill if they can get it.
I mean, 9's pretty tanky. He's got the Yules as well to keep himself safe. They're ready to turn. Snaking will get fingered here by Saxa, but Saxa still falls. 9 charges in over towards Sumail. The link going as well. Sumail's got to step out to the side. Seb has not got any damage to turn back in onto the 2 of them. He's trying. I don't know how much he's going to achieve from getting a few hits on this though, as the slows are coming out from Fada and 9. Seb's got to get back under the tier 2.
Meanwhile, top lane, you have Helmet Dominator Tidehunter apparently solo killing a tier 2 at 13 minutes in the game.
I mean, he's chilling. He really is. In 33, I mean, call him Ash Ketchum, because I think he's sort of caught them all. We've seen him play with so many different neutrals already in this first 13 minutes. And everyone to sort of perfect efficiency, from Wild Wings to pulling waves, to Troll Summoners setting up mid, to Alpha Walls, adding that extra damage to push down objectives and take out creep waves. He's doing it all.
And there's even a triple stack of the Ancients. Like, I don't know if 3-3 was the one who did this, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was. He's just doing so much while staying in his lane and taking a tier 2. This build looks phenomenal. I expect it. He's going for the Vlads next just to support the Terrorblade. Honestly, I saw 3-3 even build some Satanics on offlane Tidehunter in his pubs. Sort of expecting something like that. But no, this game's crazy. There's a lot to learn from. But OG, they're not out of it yet. They can still clutch this game.
I mean, he's been caught in the mid hit. I just have No-Tail by the side. False Promise is at the ready if Sumail needs it. I'll try and turn, see if they've got the damage to bring down 9. Stuns in, 9 falling low, 9 off to the side, but he'll go down. OG finally able to bring down the Razor. A big kill to catch. Can they get more from this? They're trying to chase down Snaking. Just fast enough, though, to get out of the reach of Sumail and to split Earth. Finally, OG getting pretty much the biggest core out of the game right now. 9 finally has to sit on the sidelines.
That's an 8 kill streak. Unfortunately, it goes for No-Tail. It's not his fault. They needed everything to burst him down. But that's exactly what OG need to come back. Yeah. They need to overwhelm Tundra when they overextend. When you have more of the map, sometimes it means that your resources are going to spread thin. Like, just imagine if we draw a line through the map control. If you have 75% of the map, if you want to take control of that, you have less places where you have more places where your heroes have to be. OG are more focused, you know? They bring all 5 heroes, I mean, there's an Arc Warden clone, and they take down 9's Razor. It's a very big comeback play from them.
Let's see what they can do with this. Got some good stacks here for Seb to clean up. We'll get the Ags pretty much done here. So Seb's going to be able to pass that over. We'll see which way it goes. I would imagine it's still likely to be Sumail as that position 1. If anything, just for those extra stats, giving Sumail that chance to survive and dish out the damage in the fights.
I could definitely see the eggs on him working. They're trying to find Saxa in the trees up top. He's juking. He's fine. He's fine. Hey, OG, they finished a little bit of items. They have the Maelstrom on Thompson, who's actually opted to go for treads over travels on Awkward in this game, just because of how hard the early game was. So he's not scaling the same way, you know, we saw in the C qualifiers, these epic 2-hour-long games that Black had to cast like 18 of. He's just struggling. This might not be the same Arc Warden. It's a treads Arc Warden.
Oh, it's going to indeed take time. As you say, he's just sort of been sitting in that bottom half of the net worth. He's had to compensate and get these.
And I don't know if he
build-ups.
has time. Look at Tundra. Same as OG last. They're pressing the issue. They're just going to take this objective on the map.
I know, OG's got to kind of let it go. There's not really too much they can do when it comes to bringing together a team fight around the pit, especially when the Metamorphosis is up for Skeeter.
Lashak Aghanim's.
I see what sort of an impact it has. I mean, when you do the maths, do the numbers, it is going to allow him to kick out a lot of damage. Eternal Shroud done as well. So Samel is going to be pretty survivable on the front lines, especially with Notel having the backup. Oh, arrows connecting like that, though, might cause issues. Samel's going to turn with the Nihilism. It's actually not really amping up that much at all. Tundra seem being pretty unfazed there by that aggressive attempt from Samel. The Ravage comes out. He catches the three of them plus the Tempest double. That's 7 Samel gone. The Tempest double to fall as well. But, well, no, in fact, they've got their eyes set on bigger targets. They're going to go for the real heroes, chasing down Notel. As Notel false promises himself, he's got no escape available, though. He knows what's inevitable as his life will come to an end. Another kill for 9. As straight from the Roshan down the mid lane. They've got the setup on the high ground. They're looking towards him. Arrows coming in. It's going to connect onto Thompson, but they won't go forward. Zaxxer at the side, ready with the stuns. Tundra will respect that. They won't dive in onto Thompson.
Look at this play from Fada. He's even dragged the bottom wave. The amount of efficiency coming out from the wave drags, everything from Tundra's side is phenomenal, but they're going on to Tidehunter mid here. This is their chance. They have no Ravage.
They're in. Stun control. Fada, he'll offer up a lymphotic shield. It won't be enough to save him. Finger comes in big from Zaxxer. They'll burst down the tide.
Honestly, one of my favorite things from the last fight was that looked like overwhelming force from Tundra. But Skitter was actually just farming his own Ancients in Triangle during that fight. So they got this extreme efficiency, dragging the bottom wave, getting Ancients, winning the fight. You know, they had the enemy shine all at the same time. And they're up 8k gold. They don't have Ravage, but one of the benefits of playing with these fast lane-shoving heroes like Terrorblade, Mirana, Razor, is that if you have cooldowns, you can always split push the lanes. That's even ameliorated because they pick up this illusion rune. And man, it's hard to play OG's map right now. They're doing a good job punishing Tundra when they overextend, but there's not that many opportunities when you're behind.
And the time are definitely still ticking for them in the sense that once Skeeter has his next time done the Skadi, they're going to be in position, Tundra, to start approaching high ground sieges. OG's got to be prepared. They've got to have some sort of defense to come in. A lot of it's going to rest on Samel, what he can do as the Leshrac. You know, anytime OG do run this Seb Alchemist, getting that Ags and fueling it into Samel, it does mean they're sort of going to be playing a core down, and even more than that this game, with Thompson still needing time to recover, get himself a few items. So up in the jungle, they'll go to look to burst down 9, but 9's got the Aegis. He's going to be ready for another round. 15 seconds until the Ravage is back up for 33. Fada getting focused, still has the borrowed time to rely on Samel. He's been silenced. False Promise comes out from Notel to keep Samel alive. Over to the side, they're on to Thompson. Thompson gets blown up. As Thompson down, they're heading towards Skeeter. Do they have the damage to take down the Terrorblade? They don't. Skeeter turns, gets the Sunder off. Ravage is ready to go. 33 catches all remaining heroes on OG. As OG get team wiped by Tundra.
Tips out onto Seb. And you know, OG, they're trying. It's close. Terrorblade almost dies there. They just don't have enough damage. But Tundra, I think that was a Ravage like coming down in cooldown during the fights. They're baiting out the fight. Perfect Ravage, and now look at this. And, you know, Tundra, they're doing so much on the map. They're hitting mid tier 2. They're hitting top tier 3. They're just doing everything. Even Snaking's running to get bottom control because they understand the state of this game. Their win condition this game is not necessarily to kill the Raxes. It's to get full map control. Don't let Arc Warden and Alchemist farm. Outscale them because you have a refresher on Tide. You have more items. You're stronger that way. It's a very methodical, like, proper way to play Dota compared to like a lot of the more aggressive approaches. Snaking.
Oh, Sax up. He's in with a blink. Is he going to be able to buy enough time for the rest of them to head over? Somehow, it's not going to be able to get close enough by the looks of it. And if anything, has to be a little careful. Skeeter is in the neighborhood. And meanwhile, 9, he's killing off Seb top. Seb steps up, A quick kill onto him. OG, they really want to... They're still trying to go for this, but the Bros under there from Skeeter, keeping Snaking healed up. Sumail still on the front lines as he got enough damage to kill Snaking. He's trying to chase him. Snaking will finally fall, but it's been a lot of pressure here from Sumail. Sumail has got enough to deal with the rest of them. 9, he's in with the BKB, ready to chase down Sumail with the static link. It's Thompson, he's been surrounded by 33 Fowler and Skeeter. Thompson's trying to fight them off. He's got nothing to offer against the three of them as Thompson goes down. 9, still with the movement speed, closing in on Sumail. Another slow from the plasma field. He's got your scepter in 8 seconds, not quite soon enough to grab him. Meanwhile, in the trees, Skeeter's on the hunt for Saxa. Saxa jumps out to the side, but Skeeter's able to find him with the reflection as Saxa slowly dying there to an illusion of himself. He will live long enough to TP out, and in fact, it's enough. They don't have any vision or ways to cut through the trees, so he won't die today here. Saxa making it back to safety. But not same can't be said indeed for some of OG's cores. Thompson down again. Tundra now in position to push this bottom creep wave round and take away that final tier 2. Still just at the early timing here of 21 minutes in.
I even just watched Fada run into Ulk's acid spray and deny 2 range creeps 21 minutes into the game. And another great fight for Tundra. You know, Skitter, he saves Snaking for long enough, baits OG in, and Thompson, he comes in and he's just stuck with the treads. He can't get out. Also, I didn't know how the Leshrac eggs works, but it does make Leshrac ethereal. I saw in that fight. It gives him extra move speed, and he doesn't take any increased magic damage. So it is quite strong, a lot stronger than what I expected. But my apologies to the audience, because honestly, I have never, like, I've seen the item like once or twice. It's not something that we usually see, like a lot of OG strats.
Yeah, I would say, don't worry, Aui. It doesn't even say in the tooltip that it makes himself ethereal.
Why would it? You don't deserve to know from Dota tooltips.
We can blame Valve on that one. Seb, they've found him. He's going to get the ult off. It doesn't matter. Skeeter at this stage with the Skadi pretty much done 100 gold. Now what can you do? This is the Terrorblade at that incredible mass, at this incredible timing that has enabled the hero to just do so well. And particularly in the hands of Skeeter, finding success again and again. Maybe a few more times than you'd maybe expect teams to let him have it. As Tundra, as we did see, very comfortable draft, comfortable picks, and it is showing much more so than what you'd maybe expect from OG with this sort of lineup. OG not having a great time at all here. Down 29-9, 14k lead at the moment for Tundra. OG's got to come out with something spectacular to turn this one around, because at the moment, it's looking like Tundra are going to have to clean sweep here in this series. Yeah,
and look at Saxa. He is beasting it. He prevented a tier 2 death just by sort of pulling the wave. Oh, Sumail.
Going in on him. 33 has got a Ravage as well if he sees a good chance to get in on the fight. Sumail trying to turn things. Fada, he's got the Poro time good to go. Won't seize an opportunity for the Ravage, but they can play it cool here, Tundra. They don't need to force any aggression. As long as they're not losing anybody, they're fine.
OG just got their second tier 2 neutral item, by the way. It's 24 minutes into the game, and they only have 2 of the neutral items that drop at 17. And this is with Lashrak, Alchemist, Archord, and heroes that you typically consider to farm neutrals a lot.
Sumail. He's going for Fada. Saxa's got the stun here, 33. He's on and onto the Ravage. Stun will come out, Concoction onto 33. It's still just not quite the damage at all here. Skeeter more than fine, turns up towards Sumail. No tell. He's got the false promise, holds on to the last moment really to pop it onto Sumail. Sumail will try for the TP out, but 33 pops the Ravage, catches No Tail and Sumail. No escape for them. 4 dead again on OG as Tundra. I mean, they really are doing it here, and so many times we've seen in this upper bracket run, they are making quite the case for themselves here in this Western European qualifiers. As what looks to be on track to be another win. It just looks so good. It just looks so crisp, so solid. They're doing something a little bit new. They're doing their own style, bringing their own sort of take on the game, and it's looking a step ahead of anything else that any of the other teams are bringing, Aui.
They're looking absolutely fantastic. And this is against, like, OG. Milan talked about it. They had 2 strategies that they revealed. The Magnus and the Alchemist. Tundra, they knew about those strategies, and they seem to have perfectly counter-stratted both of them. Like, it's hard to say whether Tundra, like, they're playing so well. All their plays, it's synced up with their teammates. But I think the most impressive thing is just how well strategized they were going into this match. Terrorblade versus Alchemist, you know, the Wyvern versus Magnus. They had really good ideas here.
Setting up with the Moonlight. Getting in behind the tier 2 tower as well, Tundra. Skeeter will be able to finish off the tier 2 tower. Well, trying to turn their attention towards Fada, but Fada's more than happy for OG to go on it. Ults at the ready, Samael forced out to the side. No tail, no false promise for 25 seconds. Samael, he's going to need help. He's not going to get it with no ult back up on the Oracle. There's no save for Samael. Samael's down for 45, and that's more than enough space for Tundra to step up to the high ground. 25 minutes in, start looking to take down the tier 3 in the back. Thompson, what can he do to hold? Has he got enough firepower in him to get some kills? He will get Fada. Big stump from Saxa comes out onto the two of them. Snaking getting low, will get burst. OG, they will manage to hold here. They get 2 kills, and that will be enough to stop Tundra from sticking around. They'll keep their tier 3 alive, OG.
And honestly, a bit uncharacteristically sloppy by Tundra this game. 3-3 had the Alpha Wolf in the Roshan pit, and they scouted Roshan was up. I would have far preferred, instead of going for this high ground, to understand that their win condition is just this big gold lead and agents. Yeah. OG, they do a good punish, you know, a beautiful stun coming out from Saxa. But I think a lot of this game is going to come down to, can OG contest this Roshan? Because again, we've seen time and time again, this second Roshan, I think 3-3 will pick up the shard, he'll anchor smash your tower, will do no damage, and then how do you stop the high ground from coming? They're doing Roshan with 3 heroes alive only. Yeah, they don't have meta. Alright,
I mean,
so
they
decided.
A little hesitant. Yeah,
yeah, that's a bit too crazy.
Maybe we should be careful. Especially, as I said, after sort of maybe the missed call to try and go for the high ground. Maybe getting a little too excited about Samael being out of the game. They did sort of opt to push on.
But now 9.
They'll play it safe.
He's picked up his refresher orb, and it's such a huge item on Razor. This item has gone on... The biggest buff that this item got was the fact that BKB at its lowest charge is now 6 seconds. So if you have refresher orb, that's 12 seconds of magic immunity compared to 10 from before. It's a big deal. And look at Seb. He's trying to sneak into the enemy triangle just to get these tier 3 items. Did they even get all their tier 2s? They only have 3 tier 2 items at 27 minutes. They managed to pick up a couple of tier 3s, but that's rough, man. That's just sort of indicative of how much map control and pressure Tundra has put onto the OG side.
Pressure's going to continue here with this Roche falling very quickly. OG not in any place or position to put a stop to this one. So here we have it. Actually, Skeeter's going to take everything here. Well, at least the Aegis and the Shard. Make sure that he has the Zeal ready for the next move.
I can see that. I mean, Skeeter, he's been fighting without Metamorphosis like 3 fights this game, and they won all of them. Zeal's specifically good when you don't have that meta. So, you know, a little bit of logic there, maybe a little bit of a read on the game. And they're ready. They have Ravage, they have meta, they want to go high ground here. They even have this Alpha Wolf creep, and Vlad's on 3-3, giving Terrorblade an extra 48% damage.
Saxa. Force out to the side, Samael. He's getting in on this, 33 with a cheeky aggressive force staff there, pulling Samael towards them. Samael.
This is still awkward in Dota.
They do at the hold, they do at the bubbles. They're slowing down the offensive here from Skeeter. Is it going to be enough? Doesn't look like it. Tier 3 still goes down. 33 stepping up, has Ravage good to go. So OG, got to be cautious how close they step towards the tide. And they can't step close enough at all to stop this damage being done. The melee rack's falling pretty fast. The backdoor protection does kick in. Bubble as well. They're able to move into the bubble, continue to beat down, and OG, they're just getting torn apart by 9. He heads in with the BKB, the 2 rounds of the Eye of the Storm, and OG, they've got to step out of it. Samael, again, getting aggressively forced in by 33. 33 playing around with Samael each and every time he tries to step in. Now Skeeter, he's just on top of Thompson, charging down on the artboard, the Ravage comes out, catches the 4 of them again, 33, easily able to land it onto pretty much the entirety of OG's lineup, as OG, they're getting beat back towards the fountain. Thompson, only just being saved here by the false promise. He will live. Tundra, are they going to get caught on the way out? Skeeter still with an Aegis. Samael, looking at Fada. Borrowed time still on cooldown for 30 seconds. Saxa, another nice stun lined up onto the 3 of them. They'll kill off Fada. Samael, charging in the Nihilism as well, and pick up the damage being dealt here to Skeeter. Skeeter, they should be able to take him down the once. Can they do it again? He's got limited backup. Only 33 and Snaking ready to help out. Got the stun opening. Is there anything Skeeter can do to play his way out of this one? Get the reflection out onto the 4 of them. Any further catch? Seb starting to rev up Concoction. They force him up to the high ground. Concoction's in. Another force. 33 forcing Skeeter down to the low ground. Is it enough to get him out of the reach of Saxa? It is. 33 will get Skeeter the distance he needs to get into the trees, but the Hex is there. The vision provided, the Spark Rev into the trees will allow them to get the catch, stop Skeeter from getting out. As OG, they may have lost the racks, but they're finally able to find a fight where they will come out on top in terms of numbers.
That's a beautiful punish from OG. A little bit, you know, they're one game away from being the grand finals of the TI qualifiers. Maybe a little bit of nerves kicking in, but they went very far there. If you look at where 9 died, he died like basically where the throne is to the fountain, like perpendicular. And as soon as that Razor's dead, as soon as he's expended a refresher double BKB, I think Tundra need to realize that there's a lot of catch, there's a lot of magical damage coming in from OG. Thompson, despite his like sort of rough game, he's now finished Mjolnir. He's going to get to MKB. He is going to hurt Terrorblade a lot now.
Yeah, they're making a recovery. It's still got a bit of a way to go. But OG making sure that they're not walked over completely here by Tundra.
Ooh, look at Razor. He's going for a nullifier next. I think that's really cool. I was in my head, I was like, he has to go for... Actually, he doesn't have Aghanims yet. I thought he would just go Aghanims. He just break the base. Like, the idea I had of this game was they had Arc Warden, but you have Tidehunter with Anchor Smash, which goes through the bubble, and then you have Aghanims on Razor, which also goes through the bubble. So even though you can keep laying down these defensive spells, you'll still break the base. Tundra, they have a different idea. They built Blink on Skitter and Tidehunter. They want to just jump OG and kill them so that they can't place those bubbles. It's a perfectly valid idea, just a bit different than what I thought.
We're picking both of these up after that last fight, so might catch OG off guard. There's OG staying hidden up in the base. Tundra
Dire's courier has
we'll
been
get a couple of couriers on the way out here.
has been killed.
I didn't get to click on those couriers. Do you know if they had some items on them? Oh, they're jumping Sumail mid.
I don't think they had anything too important on. No, I think Sumail was just trying to get it out to get the plate mail for his Shiva's guard. So not any huge items on them at the least, but will limit, of course, that ability for OG to really pick much up with the way that Tundra is keeping OG contained in the base.
And they pop meta here. He wants to go in.
Oh, he does. He popping the BKB. Skeeter's just charging down. He's able to force No-Tail to have to false promise himself. 33 holding on for the reaction, now pops the Ravage, again catching the 4 of them. They move in 9 with a refresher, second charge, the BKB in the eye of the Storm, runs down No-Tail. No-Tail will turn to be able to keep Sumail alive, but it will cost No-Tail his life. Thompson does turn, take down 33. Thompson will win the duel this time round as he holds his ground, beats him down, but that's Seb out, 9 heads over towards Thompson, catches him trying to sneak back towards the base, and Thompson, he's out. He's 90 gold short of buyback. He's not going to have buyback available in time. They do manage to get kills elsewhere, though, with Sumail and No-Tail running down, snaking. So, despite losing Thompson here, they're able to hold once again. OG somehow finding the way to come out on top of these fights.
And Razor now has his nullifier. I think I'm seeing a bit of his idea. In that fight, Sumail, if you get an Oracle saved, he'll put his Purifying Flames on you. That actually gets purged by nullifiers, so you can't heal up your ally. Also, I'm assuming the ethereal form from Nihilism can get purged. I've never really seen the interaction, but it has to be, right? Yeah. Just like a Ghost Scepter or Ethereal Blade.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just thinking, okay, all we have to do is we blink on the Leshrac, we Ravage him, Nullifier him, and we burst him down. That fight was very uncoordinated from Tundra. Again, I think maybe a little bit of inexperience, but Skitter jumped in with BKB meta.
He went straight in.
Yeah, and Tidehunter's blink was on cooldown, so he couldn't follow up at the same time. When you have timings like BKB, Ravage, Metamorphosis, you want to combine your spells so the instant you commit to the fight, you're bursting enemy heroes. They still do get a lot of buybacks out from OG, but I think OG are so happy with that fight. They're constantly being given windows, and most importantly, they've come back 12,000 EXP in this game. It's a huge deal.
They're absolutely in a position where another move like that from Tundra could lead OG to really leveling the playing field. I will start to set up for the next move by the looks of it. 9. Set for 25. And they do know if they can get a hit here onto OG, No-Tail and Seb won't be able to buy back. for a second round in the fights, and they're heading in with the smoke. See what they can find. Skeeter, he's ready to go and aggressively jumps forward straight away. No-Tail having to instantly false promise himself as he attempts to force his way out of here. Saxa gets focused down by the damage of Skeeter. Saxa out for a minute. No buyback, but they're forcing him in. Nine's ready to go in even deeper onto Sumail. Sumail trying to turn with the aggression of the nihilism. Skeeter being focused, but he's still got the Sunder. Good to go. 33's in with the Ravage, catching them all out as they try and get back towards the fountain. A buyback has to come out from Sumail. Sumail getting straight back in on Tafada. Stun, catching out Skeeter. Skeeter, he's still got a Sunder. Is he able to get it off in time? He is. Sunder snaking, gets him back a good amount of health. Refresher pop from 9, jumps straight back in over to No-Tail as No-Tail's out for 80 seconds. 9's able to clean up with the triple, gets Thompson, turns towards Sumail, but Sumail, he's still got a lot of fuel in the tank. He's ready to get burning down the rest of them. 9, he's got to step out of here. Seb beats into snaking. Sumail jumps forward. He's able to pick up another with the blink. Triple kill, ultra kill for Sumail. And Sumail, he's holding on here for OG. The concoction over towards 33, or blink away, forced to the side. It will still connect. Sumail, he's got blink up in a second. He's not going to go looking for the tide though, but again, does cost a buyback here from Sumail, but a huge buyback indeed as he manages to clean up the majority of Tundra one by one.
Ooh, and Tundra, it's looking a little spicy now. Like it seems like they're actually sort of throwing this game. I thought it was impossible, but this is, what is this, like 3 or 4 base dives past the tier 3s in a row? Your supports can't fall off.
They go in.
Yeah, they just keep going in. There's no like stopping to their aggression. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes it leads to situations where, you know, you were 20k up gold, you were 30k EXP up, and now you're dead 4 heroes. Roshan, luckily for Tundra, is not spotting, because that would have been an insane swing. But my goodness, it's just, honestly, OG are just baiting them in so well and outplaying them in these fights. It's just.
Now Sumail's also he's picked up the flicker. So good luck killing this Lash. Sumail, he's going to be hopping all over the shop.
It's just like that fight. Razor is 20 seconds off refresher. You know, you're ahead. You get to choose when you want to go high ground, when you want to fight. I mean, they are still in a dominant position. They're up only 8k gold now. Actually, they really close on OG. And this is against Alchemist, where you'd usually think Alchemist lineups will be ahead in gold. But still, I'm not seeing Skitter being able to right-click people into fights, which is very surprising to me. He doesn't have an MKB against Arcward, and he's opted for the sort of all-in Blink Dagger, going for the Swift Blink. If they had just played solid Dota, where they buy MKB, they get the Aghanims on Razor, they get the Shard on Tidehunter, Siege the High Ground Solo, I guarantee this game is looking very free for them. But now, we have a real game on our hand. OG can win this game.
We do. Oh, they absolutely can. One more move from Tundra.
Roshan spawns in 6 seconds.
The mark and it will hurt. I mean, yeah, they're so close to holding on to it. They're eyeing up Seb. Now, see the Roche back up now, but they want to head back for that. What's the move? They'll try and take some quick control back of the jungle, and they will indeed duck straight into the pit.
And this is a refresher orb. I think if Razor had Aghanims, you would just give it to Razor. He literally kills the tier 4s and Throne in 20 seconds. But because they don't have it, I think 3-3 is just going to grab this up. It is so incredibly powerful. The double Ravage, I mean, maybe this is what they need. Just a little bit more oomph to their team fight, where they can burst heroes on Ravage and meta. But honestly, I'm really concerned how they've dove base. OG has straight up outplayed them. Despite being 20k net worth behind, despite being 30k EXP. They understand exactly how to take these fights. They take it kitey, and they don't even throw their burst right away. They save it, and as soon as Skitter's BKB is down, he gets hit by Nihilism, Finger, some Leshrac stun. He's hit like 3 times by the Split Earth Leshrac shard this game. Just completely ruining his team fight, and just really impressed with the base defense.
Well, so they can still play into this timing, but we have about 2 minutes left where No-Tail, Seb, and Sumail, by a good few minutes, will not have buyback available. Tundra, they want to try and hit hard with that. They do indeed pick him up outside of the base. Saxa himself has got buyback. I mean, even Thompson, to be fair, buyback's off cooldown, but again, just fully investing, so will not have the money to return. So a core death here could lead to Tundra having the space to close this game up. They've got to be careful, OG. Sumail. Feeling confident to jump in onto Skeeter with the backup that he has from No-Tail.
And Thompson, he's really starting to hurt. He's going for the Daedalus now. He's doing a lot of damage. Look at Skitter. He might have to Sunder.
going to have to think hard about it. Has indeed had to step up under the Wraith here. The double. Tier 3, and it's gone. So second set of racks now exposed. Tundra. They're going to head in aggressively. Skeeter, straight up, popping the Metamorphosis. OG, what have they got? They're coming with some good defensive performance. 33's in! Straight to the back lines, finds the Ravage onto the 3 of them. They take out No-Tail. That's No-Tail out, no buyback. Samael, he's not got his Oracle, he's not got his save. As that's Samael down, 2 minutes. Saxa gone as well. There'll be a buyback from Saxa. But no Samael, no No-Tail, with the buyback still on cooldown.
Thompson's doing a lot of damage.
He's got to do some heavy carrying here. He certainly is. Skidder getting low, but Skidder, he looks to jump back in aggressively. Sunder onto Seb. Skidder's up to full HP. Still has the Aegis and the BKB ready to pop Skidder. Saxa lines up the stun, but the reach is there. 33 and 9 jumping on top of him. There's 3 dead on OG. No buybacks available as Tundra, at the least, will be able to get the mega creeps. Maybe even the game itself as well. Thompson and Seb. What can they do here, the two of them? Double getting caught out by the arrow. 33 able to force the double outside of the bubble so they can take it out. You'll set him onto Thompson as they close in upon him. Thompson is trying to stand his ground, forced out to the side, but they've got the damage, they've got the chase. Thompson is out. 4 dead on OG. They've got fortification to rely on. No-Tail's back up in 5. But without 2 calls for more than a minute, what sort of miracle can OG achieve here? Seb is trying to head forward. False promise out from No-Tail. It's keeping Seb alive, but Tundra, they're just focusing the objectives here. Fada and Skeeter looking to close it up onto the tier 4s. Buyback finally comes up for Thompson. He's back in, but Seb's out. No-Tail as well, only just surviving it back in the base. They're popping the BKBs. Tundra, they're actually going to ignore the H. They want to get more kills out of this. They take out the double. Thompson, can he hold the base here? The final tier 4 starting to fall. Skeeter jumps in straight away on a Thompson. Thompson, he's out of the game for good. As that'll be it. No more backup here for OG as Tundra, they'll claim the victory. GG called by OG as Tundra will take this series 2-0 and they've secured themselves a ticket to the grand final here at the Western European Qualifiers.
And in what convincing fashion too. Who would have expected Tundra coming into today to just, I mean honestly, a little bit sloppy at the end there from Tundra, but I think we can call these two pretty big stomps, right? Like, outstratted, outplayed, everything coming off from Tundra. They look absolutely fantastic. OG, it didn't really look like they knew what to do against Tundra's game plan.
No, for sure. I mean, they were, as we said, able to pick up some sort of turnaround, at least the start of a turnaround maybe in the later stages of the game, but the lead that Tundra had, I mean, it just goes to show, if anything, how much of a solid hold Tundra had from the off, that they could sort of make what those 3 little overextensions, dives, poking buybacks out here and there from OG, and it didn't matter. You know, still when it came down to that final fight with the strength that Tundra had amassed, it was too much. And yeah, as I say, Tundra now straight up into the best of 5 grand finals, and Aui, it's going to be spicy down in that lower bracket. We've got OG, Liquid, and Nigma fighting for not a spot at TI, but a spot in the finals to play for a spot at TI, Aui.
And it's terrifying. Like, look at those teams. Anyone throughout the entire DPC, they're like, oh, these teams are going to be at TI. They're not even going to all be in the finals of the qualifier for TI. It's crazy. And again, I just want to say, like, props to Tundra. That was a fantastic series coming out from them.
Yeah. No, it really was a real pleasure to see. I think they're definitely getting a lot of fans on the way. People excited to see what ideas Tundra continues to bring to the game. Some smart stuff and very impressive things to break down, as we'll let the panel do so indeed. As there we go, ladies and gentlemen, Tundra, the series is theirs. 2-0 against OG.